History is filled with men and women who began with nothing, sometimes less than nothing. Jan Koum, once a poor immigrant on food stamps, built WhatsApp and sold it for billions. Guy Laliberté, who performed on the streets breathing fire for spare coins, became the founder of Cirque du Soleil. Damon John, who stitched hats in his mother's tiny house, grew into a fashion mogul and global investor. What do these people have in common? They discovered one powerful truth. The world does not reward begging, it rewards value. And that same truth is hidden in the story you are about to hear. On a bustling Monday morning, beneath the scorching sun, a frail beggar stretched out his trembling hand to a wealthy man who had just stepped out of his shiny black car. "Please, sir," the beggar pleaded, "give me some money. I have not eaten." The rich man stopped, looked down at him, and asked calmly, "What will you give me in return?" The beggar blinked in confusion. "Nothing, sir." "I have nothing to give." The rich man shook his head slowly. "Then I cannot give you anything either. I am a businessman. I never give without expecting something in return. That is not how wealth is built." With that, he walked away, leaving the beggar crushed and humiliated. At first, the beggar burned with anger. How could a man with so much refuse a man with nothing? But that night, the rich man's words echoed in his mind. "What will you give me in return?" "I am a businessman." For the first time, the beggar reflected. His life had been nothing more than an endless cycle of outstretched hands. But what had he ever offered in return? What effort? What skill? What value? A realization pierced his soul. If I want something in life, I must first learn to give something back. Nothing grows from nothing. The very next day, he tried a new approach. Instead of simply asking, he began to serve. When a woman struggled with her groceries, he carried them. When merchants needed someone to sweep their stalls, he offered his hands. He shined shoes, washed cars, ran errands, sometimes for little pay, sometimes for nothing more than a meal. Slowly, people who once ignored him began to notice him, not as a beggar, but as a worker, a helper, a man with dignity. Weeks turned into months. One morning, the same wealthy man passed by again, but this time, he did not see a beggar with an empty hand. He saw a man polishing shoes, earning his bread with honor. The beggar stood tall and said, "Sir, once you asked me what I could give in return. That day I had nothing, but now I have something. My hands, my effort, my service." The rich man's stern face softened into a faint smile. "Now you understand business. Wealth is not sustained by asking, it is created through offering." From that day forward, the beggar was no longer a beggar. He became a worker, then a small trader, then a man who could feed himself without begging. And he never forgot the lesson etched into his heart. If you want something in life, offer something in return. No one prospers by asking alone. Growth begins with giving. Poverty does not end when someone fills your bowl. It ends when you discover the value you can give to others.